Welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. So happy Halloween, everyone. When this episode comes out, it'll be October 31st. So for all you spooky heads out there, this is your day.
It's a great day.
Enjoy
One of the
it.
best days. Someone's favorite holiday.
It's a lot of people's favorite holidays. I would say most people's favorite holiday.
Come on, candy, costumes. It's not to love.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I like it fine, but it's not my favorite. But
I know you're a Christmas
there's enough.
girl.
There's enough people to love it. Like, it's not gonna miss me. Most people love a favorite holiday. So, great day to have a Buffy episode released. Even though this isn't the spookiest episode we'll ever have, but
It is spooky, just not in they're not trying to be spooky.
it's scary.
It's so
But it's not really spooky. But it's always a Buffy episode, so they're always in that category. So today we are talking about Innocence, which is the highest scored episode of the series. It had 8.2 million views when it originally aired.
Wow.
So like we said before, it moved from Monday to Tuesday. So this was the first Buffy episode aired on Tuesday. So weird that you'd watch a two-part of a show 2 nights in a row. And then you'd, transition over from Monday to Tuesday.
Interesting.
So people really wanted to know what the hell is going on with Angel.
Yeah, and they were heartbroken, obviously.
Yeah. So this is a really, really highly rated episode of Buffy.
Okay.
Even on the charts of good episodes, it's really up there. And it is pretty much perfect. So, all right. So we start with a previously on. We get a little bit of a reminder about Buffy's dreams, the judge, bangle sexy time. That's kind of where we left off. And then it opens up. We think we're going to immediately be okay, what's going on with Angel? But we start at the factory.
Yeah,
and,
actually.
Yeah, Spike's why are we still here? They know where we are. They got away.
Why are you still here? Get away. Go. Bye.
We're vulnerable.
He seems unhappy.
Yeah, he's why are we still here? It's not he can even defend himself if he needs to. Because he's still in the wheelchair. And we see the judge kind of kneeling behind him, facing away.
Preparing.
Yeah, I love how he says, "What's Big Blue doing over there?" He's
Spike
Spike
is a very funny character.
Yeah, he's getting he's fed up with the judge. The judge has not paid off for him so far. Yeah. He thought it was going to be much more exciting. And the judge says he is preparing, that he needs more lives to gather his strength. And he really has only had Dalton from as far as we know. So he needs an opportunity to get more lives so he can just really kill everybody that's
Spike's
human.
Just getting impatient,
Yeah. That is a trade. You are getting to know Spike because that is a trademark of Spike. He is not patient. He is very impulsive. He wants what he wants yesterday.
Funny because he's with Drew and he needs to be patient AF with her.
Yeah, but he does. We see him lose his cool. Yeah, he is. Sometimes. He does lose his temper with her.
Yeah.
So you see a dual thing there. It's interesting. And then Drew automatically has this kind of fit, kind of.
Yeah, and she collapses.
She collapses, kind of crying, and she's saying Angel, and Spike's what's wrong with you? What's going on? What's happening? And she kind of just saying oh, my angel, angel. So she's having some kind of premonition, or she knows something's happening with Angel. She can feel it.
But then she smiles.
She's happy. So it's almost it's painful for her. Maybe she's having some transference of whatever Angel's going through.
She's feeling what he's feeling, yeah.
But she knows it's a good thing for them. It's something that she wants to happen.
Fine.
So in Angel's apartment, it's still storming. It's just right after we left off. And Buffy wakes up alone. And Angel's not in the... I want to know why Buffy didn't go looking for him.
Yeah,
right away.
Exactly. Or how she didn't hear him? I don't know. Obviously they made it on this way on purpose, so whatever.
Yeah, I know. But yeah. Yeah, we won't even... we kind of talked about that last time. How could she not wake up when he bolts out of bed? Slayer sense isn't even
yells,
someone next to you.
Yeah.
We will just...
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so we're in the alley, which I'm assuming is behind Angel's apartment. He couldn't have gone far in the pain he was in. He was falling over. So he is it has stopped raining now, but he falls on the ground. He's in the puddle, and he's oh no. So he realizes now what's happening, that he's losing his soul. Which I actually don't even think that might be a spoiler. Sorry, you should have watched the episode before you listen to this. They haven't specifically said that yet.
As someone who hasn't watched it, when I saw this, when we're talking about it, I realized it, so it's fine.
And I think Jenny's uncle set it up pretty obviously that that was going to happen. So I put prostitute ? Maybe not. Maybe just a lady hanging out in an alley in the middle of the night.
She didn't look like a prostitute.
I put question mark.
Nice one? Okay, maybe.
Escort? Is that more appropriate?
Some woman walks up to check in on poor...
Do you call a nice prostitute an escort? I don't know. Anyway, a nice lady...
She walks over to Angel.
Hanging out in an alley.
In
the middle of the night with a cigarette. Walks over. She sees him on the ground, like, struggling. And says... Asks if he's okay, if she should call 911. And then all of a sudden, Angel's backs to us. And he just, like, gets up and, like, straightens up.
And he's fine. And
he seems, like, okay. And...
It's over. It's over.
He turns around and he's in vamp face and he bites her. But I love the effect of where he bites her in the neck and then he blows the smoke out.
Yeah.
So he's took the smoke from her neck and then blew it out.
As if he kissed her. Yeah.
I loved that. That was brilliant, whoever thought of that.
He is badass,
So yeah, he kills this woman and then he says, I feel just fine.
I hate that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and my heart hurt watching that, I'm not gonna lie.
And then we go to the credits. So it's morning at Buffy's house, and she kind of comes home, and you can tell she's
trying to sneak in.
I was trying to wonder about this because when she's like kind of like going up. Okay, well, I have a question. I want to ask your opinion on something. But she comes home, and you can tell she's unnerved. She's not comfortable. Like she's worried. Like where's Angel? So she, like, kind of goes up the stairs, and then when she hears her mom, she, like, quickly comes back down. But she already told her mom that she wasn't going to be home all night.
That is correct.
But she's acting like she's sneaking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her mom's like, oh, how was Willow's?
Yeah, she even said that. So
I'm like, is she sneaking in or is she not sneaking in?
It seemed like she was sneaking in, though.
Yeah, but it's like, it seemed like she didn't need to because of the round robin thing, right?
Yep.
I was confused.
Yeah. She definitely acts like she's sneaking in.
And when her mom kind of, like, walks towards her, she kind of, like, jumps back a little bit. I think her mom, Buffy's very nervous that her mom's gonna know. Like, I had sex as written on her forehead.
I lost my V card and you can see it.
Yes, I am different now and you were gonna know.
Funny.
You're gonna take one look at me and you were gonna know what I did last night. I know what you did last night. No pun intended. I know what you did last summer. Another movie Sarah Michelle Gellar was in.
That's right. That's such a good movie.
I know what you did last night with Angel.
Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. She's very jumpy and
she's acting off. And of course her mom's like, "Are you okay?" Like, because she's like, you seem,
well, she says,
odd.
You look different. Her mom says, you look different.
Yeah, so Buffy's like, oh, nothing. And Buffy just gets ready to go to school. So she quickly brushes her mom.
She looks older.
Brushes her mom off.
Yeah.
Quickly. In the library, so if remember, we left the group off that they were supposed to go to the airports, bus depots, anywhere that the boxes could be coming in.
Shipping in, yeah. Mm-hmm. So Xander didn't see any boxes at the bus depot.
Yeah, he said, oh, wow. I spent the whole night at the bus station. Like, what a cross-section of humanity. And he says, no boxes, but a 400-pound wino offered to wash my hair.
That was nice. It's thoughtful.
Yeah, he had quite a night, people watching. And they offered to wash his hair.
And Buffy never checked in.
So everyone's kind of, like, somber, and he doesn't really understand why, and he finds out that Buffy never checked in. Yep. So Giles thinks that, this isn't a good sign, that nobody found boxes and Buffy hasn't checked in, so that likely means that the judge was assembled. Yep. And that could mean that Buffy's hurt or dead. They don't know.
Here's something that I liked. Xander is like, let's go to the factory. What if Buffy's there? Like, we need to go save her.
Yeah.
And I just was a little surprised because Cordelia's like, no, like, that's a terrible idea. And Giles is like, yep, Cordelia's right, bad idea. But Willow's like, nope, we need to go save her. And, like, I get where Cordelia's coming from because she's like, we don't have the power, the strength, whatever, to go save Buffy. Like, Buffy does the saving. But, Xander and Willow are right. If nobody goes to save her, then what?
They're upset that the other ones aren't jumping at the gun. I think the reasonable response is somewhere in the middle. Yep. They should go, but they can't just walk. They can't just burst through the doors.
Guns blazing.
Not without. They were just gonna walk in. Like they didn't even have that much of a plan. You know what I mean? So
it was a very emotional reaction.
Yeah, it is. They're very worried.
Yeah.
And so thankfully they don't have to go because Buffy walks in, and she finds out that no one's heard from Angel.
And she's worried.
But she's even more worried. And she does confirm to them
should be.
that the judge was... She's like, oh, we were just going to go save you. And she's like, well, some of us were. And Giles was like, I would have.
I like that. Yeah, that was really cute.
Trying to, like, backpedal. Because the way he says it, his voice was great. I would have.
Yeah.
So she confirms that the judge has been assembled and it's been done and that they have to figure it out, like figure out how to face him.
Jenny overhears that Buffy's worried about Angel. She makes her little conclusions, I feel like.
Yeah. So it's interesting because remember we talked about when Buffy touched the judge that we heard like a weird noise, but we didn't see anything physical from Buffy, but she does talk about it here. She says that when she touched him, it was like a sudden fever. Right. Only for a second.
Yeah.
So she did get an effect of some kind. We didn't find out until now. So it did work on her. And if he would have touched her longer...
all she did was like a quick kick, right?
Yeah. So, she was touched him just for a second, but it was enough to feel like a sudden fever, she said. Okay. So Giles is going to research the judge, and he says, everybody else just, go on with your day. And so Buffy and Willow are in the hallway, and Buffy's worried about Angel. Yeah. And she doesn't tell Willow that, they did it, and that's why she's really concerned that he's missing after what happened between them.
Right.
But she is. And then, like you said, Jenny is overhearing this and is kind of watching them. Yeah. In the factory, Drew is laying on the table looking at the, air quote, stars and naming them. And Spike says, you can't see them. That's the ceiling, and it's also daylight. But she's like, I can see them. Yeah.
And isn't she naming them all the same thing?
Yeah, she said, which is confusing. Just confusing things. Mm-hmm. And so Angel walks in and strolls in. They're like, hey, of course they don't notice anything different about him. They think he's just barging in again to fight them.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here? And he actually quotes the Jackson 5 I'll Be There song, a little bit of those lyrics. He's like, look over your shoulder, I'll be there. Oh. And he kind of puts up this as long as you, scum like you are walking, rolling or wheeling, whatever he says about Spike in the wheelchair. He loves to make fun of Spike in the wheelchair, which is not cool. Not cool, Angel. People are in wheelchairs.
We're just making fun of Spike, not wheelchairs. We're
he likes to make fun of the fact that Spike's in the wheelchair. And they're like, okay, dude, whatever. And Spike says, okay, the judge, here you go. Finally, come on, here's some bait for you. And the judge touches Angel, and nothing happens.
Oh, it's so sad. I already knew, but it was just such a visceral reaction I had. No.
Yeah, and not even just that it confirms that his soul is gone, but Drew and Spike don't have souls, and they would not survive. They have more humanity than Angelus.
So, Angel has no humanity. Yeah. He's evil. He's more evil than Spike and Drusilla.
Yes.
Which is, I can't imagine. We see how evil he is later on.
So, he is as evil. That's why he's the most notorious vampire ever recorded, because he is, the most evil. He, has literally no part of humanity left in him.
I just don't understand how that happened, but anyway. I like how he says, or, they notice he can't be burned, and he's like, yes, I'm clean. Or they said he's clean, no humanity in him, and he says, yeah, baby, I'm back.
Yeah, not a great
He's like, I was going through a phase.
Yeah. Said, okay, so this soul crap is over. So he said, yeah, I was going through a phase. And Drew is very happy that the family's back together.
Okay, what does she mean by that? Is this a throuple situation? She seems attracted to him. Yeah? No?
Okay, so the family would have been Darla, Angel, Drew, and Spike.
So Angel and Drew and Darla were together?
Yes.
Oh.
Now, there's been, some mixing of partners here as well.
That's what I was thinking, maybe.
I don't think Spike ever went with Drew. Spike was very faithful.
Loyal, okay.
He wouldn't be, sleeping with Darla or sleeping with other people.
Okay. But it seems like Drusilla and Angel have been together at one point.
I think that's fair to say. They've had some kind of sexual relationship.
Yeah, it seems like it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Which is weird considering what he did to her. But,
yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Stockholm Syndrome.
Obviously that relationship was post-turning. She wasn't having that with him beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, obviously.
So she was a demon, so... Yeah, she saw the whole situation differently.
She's their family again. They can feed and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gross.
And so Drew and Spike let him in on their plan to end the world through the judge. The judge is going to just burn every person that has any humanity in them. And Angel's all about it, but he says he wants a knight, I put defeat, air quotes, Buffy. Yeah. So she won't be a threat to them.
He wants to take her out emotionally.
Yes. And Drew says, like, oh, you want to do to her what you did to me. Yeah. Which is like torture, emotionally torture her. Ugh. And we see Miss Edith again. She pokes Miss Edith in the eyes. So Miss Edith makes another.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and Angel says, she made me feel like a human being. That's not the kind of thing you just forgive.
It's so weird. So, like, okay. So he used to be evil, I'm guessing no humanity. And then the curse thing happened, and then he had a soul. Mm-hmm. And then now the soul thing is gone. But while he had his soul, when he had his soul, was there any part of him that felt like this Angelus?
No, I don't think so.
Because he was Angelus, there's no angel, I guess. Whatever. Evil.
Yeah, you could kind of think of them as like Angelus and Angel, or like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I guess, kind of.
So there's
like sharing the same body. Yeah, but Angel felt like incredible remorse because it is him. It was him doing all these things for all these hundreds of years.
And he really did love Buffy.
Yeah. So I think Angelus is like, oh, she made me feel these human emotions, and I'm not for that. I don't like that. Like, I don't feel them anymore, but I want to punish her for that. Though. Yeah, he remembers that it happened. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's no there's no there's no humanity in him, so he doesn't relate in any warm way or anything. He's annoyed. He's mad that she made him feel that way. There's no trace of that left though in him.
Got it.
Okay. In the library, everyone's doing research, and Buffy's not there, but she calls in the library and talks to Willow and is checking in. Like, have you heard from Angel? No, I haven't heard from Angel. And she says, no, he's not dead. I'm sure he's not dead. And Xander says, hey, say hi for me. Like, he just couldn't care less if Angel's dead or alive. And Buffy was just checking in. She's going to stop by her house first, and then she's going to meet them at the library to keep researching. Yeah, so they're researching. Xander goes into the stacks to find another book because it's not being fruitful, their research. And Cordelia is there reading a book. And earlier, when they were having their little tiff about going to rescue Buffy, he's like, no one asked you to come, Cordelia. If they need grooming chips, we'll let you know, or something like that. So he kind of snaps at her. Yeah. And so he apologizes for that here because they're kind of in private. They're like away in the stacks. And he's like, can't we just kiss and make up? And she's like, I don't want to make up, but the first part is okay. That's fine. So they start kissing, and then, like you said, how long can this really stay a secret?
I mean,
they part and Willow's there.
Before they part and Willow's there, though, I thought it was interesting how she was like, Cordelia's all like, she found a book, there's nothing really useful in it about the judge, it talks about the judge, and she's just like, oh, you're too busy rushing off to die for beloved Buffy. You wouldn't die, like, he wouldn't die for her.
Yeah, I wrote that down, like, a Cordy jealous of Buffy, question mark.
Yeah,
I did write that down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she's a little bit like, you were all ready to go die for her, you wouldn't do that for me. No. But they do, like, kiss and make up, and Willow sees them.
And Willow's face,
this whole part that comes up with Willow is, like, really sad. Like, she really...
So sad.
It hurts her really bad.
I thought she was in Ozland.
Mm-hmm. That stuff dies hard. Dies a slow death, I think.
I guess so. It's hard to get over somebody. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is gonna probably help her because that's the last thing you want.
She runs off. Xander runs after her, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And she's like, I knew it.
She's like, she knew something was going on that she didn't know about. She's like, in a way that I had no idea, but I knew there was something I didn't know.
Yeah,
and she hasn't
too much.
She has made several comments the last few episodes. Like, they're being weirder. Are they fighting? You know, she's caught on to this weird vibe between them, but I don't think she ever thought it was romantic.
Yeah. She's so upset.
She's very upset, and she's really upset, like we said. And she says, well, don't you remember the We Hate Cordelia Club, in which you are the treasurer, to do?
And then she's like, you'd rather be with someone you hate than be with me? Oh my God.
Yeah, Xander says, we were just kissing, like, you're overreacting, it doesn't mean much. And she said, yeah, it only means that you'd rather be with someone you hate than be with me. So this is the first time... Yikes. And then she runs off. And this is really the first time she admits to Xander's face that she has feelings for him. Mm-hmm. I think it's been alluded to Xander through Buffy and other people that, come on, she likes you. But she's never said anything to him.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah.
Right to his face. So this is the first time I think she really admits to him her feelings for him. And so she leaves, and they're not, they're going to leave it on a bad note.
Sucks.
So we're in Angel's apartment. First we see Buffy go up to her house, and she can't go in and leaves. And so she ends up at Angel's apartment. She's going to like check in on there one more time before going to the library, I guess. And she goes in and she sees a shirt on the bed. And she like walks over.
Which is confusing.
Yeah, like, okay, he's been here.
There wasn't a shirt on the bed when she left. Yeah, why hasn't he contacted her?
Yeah, he's been there. And then he comes in. Of course, he has like no shirt on, leather pants. It's a nice view. I can see why they did this. It's not like he bad.
Pretends to be normal.
Yeah, she runs up. She's very worried. Why didn't you call me? Like, what happened? Like, I was worried. And he's like, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I was just around. And again, she said she was worried. He's like, I didn't really want to. Could you blame me? I didn't really want to stick around after that.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like,
yeah, he acts like it's no big deal.
What?
Yeah.
Like, what do you... She's very confused. Like, why is he talking like this?
And he says she has a lot to learn.
Kiddo. He says, kiddo. You have a lot to learn about men, kiddo.
And then he says, oh, but you were a pro, don't worry. Like, oh my God.
She says, what? Oh my God. When she says, was it me? Was I not good?
Yeah.
He says, oh no, I thought you were a pro, really.
That's so gross.
And you can just see her, like, she's starting to cry. Like, she's so upset. She's getting even angry at him. I mean, she's like, don't touch me. Like, she's really upset. He says, not like I haven't been there before.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not like I was a virgin.
That's such a harsh thing to say. And he says something about how it's not like bells ringing and fireworks.
Yeah. It's no big deal. And she says it is a big deal.
Yeah. That was her first time.
And he's like, you know what? I knew you couldn't handle it. And he gets dressed and leaves. And she's very upset and says, Angel, I love you. And she says, love you too. I'll call you. And leaves. So she is like, stood there just like, what? Like, just slapped in the face.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what.
That scene was gut-wrenching.
Yeah. And Sarah Michelle Gellar did such a great job in that scene.
She did. Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
Like, I felt what she felt. Ooh.
Yeah. She was just like, she went from so happy. Like, talk about a roller coaster. She was so relieved and then just crushed, right? Like, within 2 minutes. Enyo is Jenny's uncle's name.
Enyo. Okay, right. I just kept writing Jenny's uncle.
Yeah. Enyo. So we're at his place, and Jenny is trying to get more information out of her uncle. Yeah. And saying,
interesting scene.
Angel could help us. Like, it's bigger than just this old... grudge and vengeance. Like, there's things going on, like the judge, she's referring to the judge. And he says vengeance is a living thing. It passes through generations, it commands, it kills. So for their people, revenge isn't just a one and done like thing. Like, just get back at somebody.
Keeps going.
Yeah, it's generational, it's handed down.
Well, especially when he did what he did. Like this wasn't just a simple tribal thing that he did.
It was it was horrible.
Horrendous.
He murdered, like, a lot of the tribe.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then he basically says, Jenny again says, he can help.
He might be the only chance to stop the judge is how she's feeling.
Mm-hmm. He says it's too late for Angel to help. And she's like, what do you mean it's too late? Because Angel is meant to suffer, not live as a human. One moment of happiness, contentment, one moment when he feels the soul restored, no longer plagues his thoughts, and that soul is taken from him. And
that's
so
when Jenny, she realizes that Angelus is back, yeah.
Yeah, Angelus is back, and she's like, Buffy's in love with him, and he's like, oh, now she's gonna have to kill him.
Yeah, and I like how she says, like, you're a fool.
You're a fool, we're all fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
she takes responsibility.
She had this duty, but she really didn't have all the information.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that. Like, she had good intentions, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just... We'll see how it works out for her.
I'm curious what this means for her and Giles, though.
Mm-hmm. In the hallway, Willow comes back, and he's talking to her. And she basically says, I don't understand it. I don't understand you. We're not okay.
Yeah.
But this is... obviously, we have bigger fish to fry.
Which is very mature of her.
Mm-hmm. Like, we're not okay. I want you to know that. But we have to deal with the end of the world. Like, this... Obviously, our little thing is perspective, right? And says that, talks about, no, we're still, haven't figured anything new, same old, took an army to kill him, no weapon forged, and Willow says, where's an army when you need one?
And then Xander's like, oh, I have an idea.
He's like, I'm having a thought. Yeah, that's a thought. Oh, it's becoming a plan. Like, you can, like, see it, like, working.
The hamster wheel is turning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Xander, that jogged something for Xander to come up with a plan.
Then the lights come out.
The lights go out, And Angel shows up.
What?
He's down the hall. You can't see his face. He's very backlit, so he looks very menacing, but they wouldn't see it that way. We're like, oh no, of course this is not good. He tells Xander to go get the others because he has something to show them. So Xander, of course, leaves. He doesn't think twice about it. And he tells Willow to come closer.
And then Jenny tries to stop him, and she has a cross.
Mm-hmm. She says to get away from him, but it's too late. He grabs.
Yep.
And do you think it's because Willow made a noise or something? Because Xander doesn't make it to the library. He turns around. He has a suspicious look on his face.
No, I don't know. I think he just... I kind of thought that he just had a feeling.
Yeah, maybe. Because he doesn't like Angel, so maybe
no, he doesn't. It just looked like something in his mind clicked. Like, wait. I don't know. I don't know she made a noise. For me, I thought he just, something clicked for him, and he was just like, wait, something's weird.
Yeah, it wasn't super clear for me what that was about.
If that's the thing, too, that's kind of a weird thing for Angel to say, oh, Willow, basically you stay here, and Xander, go get everybody, I want to show you guys something. He would just, they would just go together or whatever. I don't know. It's just, it was a weird thing. So maybe Xander just thought that was kind of weird. Out of place for him.
Yeah, so Xander doesn't make it to he comes back because he has something. Yeah. For some reason, he's compelled to go back. And Angel has Willow. He's kind of holding her by the neck. And he's like, I have a message for Buffy. And Buffy's there. Buffy walks in and says, just deal with me. Give me the message yourself. Leave Willow alone. Angel says that, but Willow's so cute and innocent, it's a huge turn on.
No, that's so gross.
And then Xander sneaks up behind him with the cross that Jenny had and kind of puts it in his face. Yeah, and he kind of shoves Willow away, so Willow's free. And then he comes up to Buffy and he kisses her kind of roughly and says things are about to get very interesting. And then he shoves her against the wall and kind of just saunters out of the school.
Such a dick.
Yeah. And Buffy's, again, just still, shocked still. She's been shocked. She's shocked. She's, shocked this whole episode. I don't blame her. Yeah, I don't blame her either. Yeah. In the library, they're kind of all reeling. And
this was an interesting
even Giles scene. Is like...
He's certain that Angel reverted.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just... How'd it happen type thing. And Buffy's looking at her Clawda ring, and Willow's asking if she's okay, and...
Willow also says, how did you know that he told me to get away from him? She's like, oh, I just saw his face. And then it's quickly moved on. The conversation quickly moves on because Giles is I wonder what caused it.
Yeah, he's like, an event must have triggered it.
Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It clicks for her. Crap, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she thinks it's her fault, but it's not, because who would have known that was going to happen?
No, it's not her fault, but, he would feel responsible.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't, you'd feel the same.
It's she feels responsible for taking away her own happiness.
Yeah, and, letting this killer loose on the world, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she says he was different, and she should have known, but she won't tell Giles what he said.
No, and she runs off, and Willow says, Giles, shut up.
Yeah.
Damn, Willow.
I like when Xander says, Cordelia says, okay, the Slayer's bonkers or whatever. Angel's bad. This bad guy's in town and Angel joined his team. I think we've hit rock bottom. And Xander says, I think we have a plan. She's like, oh, no, wait. Here's a lower place.
That's so mean.
So Xander has a plan that he needs Cordelia for, which Willow does not like. Is very annoyed.
They need wheels.
A big set of wheels.
Oh, yeah. Wait, not only do they need Cordelia, but they need her in something. What did he say? Trashy?
Trashier.
He says trashy and then looks at her. Trashier.
Yeah, these two are just barbs all the time. And so they're going to get Oz's van. So Oz is going to be brought into the plan.
Yeah.
At the factory, Angel is gloating about his interactions with Buffy. And he says, to kill this girl, you have to fight her from the inside. To kill her, you have to love her, basically.
Yeah. And then he says her face was priceless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's having a great time about the emotional turmoil
horrible.
that he solved her. Yeah, he's not a good dude.
Yeah.
In Buffy's bedroom, she comes home and looks at the cross and the ring the cross that Angel gave her in the ring and just cries on her bed. It's so sad.
It's so sad.
She finally breaks down.
Anybody who's ever been through a breakup, a bad breakup, that's such a horrible feeling. Like, you're just sick to your stomach. You're just, all of your emotions are so raw, and it just doesn't feel like it could ever possibly get better.
Yeah, and this episode is called Innocence, but I think it really is the death of Buffy's innocence.
Yeah.
In this episode.
She had to, like, she's already had to go through so much, and just to have this on top of it after everything, like, Angel was something that brought her happiness, and now, yeah.
So we assume she falls asleep on the bed, and we see, like, some sex flashbacks of, like, some just, like, sheets and skin, and the noises. So, a little tidbit behind the scenes on the noises. Apparently, Joss Whedon was too embarrassed to ask David and Sarah to record sex noises because it was the first sex scene he ever filmed. So he did Angel's noises, and sound editor Cindy Robidoux, sorry, that's not how you say it, did Buffy's noises.
That's funny.
So that's not Sarah and David.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed. Okay, good to know.
So yeah, then they transition to a daytime funeral where Angel's there, and Buffy's looking down at a grave that's already, like, freshly buried. Yeah. And I think this is, like, I feel strongly that this kind of theme of this episode is, like, the death of Buffy's innocence. Okay, and so I feel like this is like the funeral.
Imagery. Okay.
Yeah, for like the death of her innocence. Okay. I mean, she did lose her virginity, whatever, like stereotypical, like, you know, themes of losing your virginity. But, like, you know, because Angel lost his soul, this is a big, like, forever, this is a big turning point in Buffy's life. That this happened. Yeah. Okay. Like, in all the fallout from it and everything. So, this really,
ever gonna have sex again?
This is a different Buffy after this happened. Like, the Buffy before this happens and Buffy after are, like, different people from this experience. So
sad. I hate that.
Like, from the, like, season 3 Buffy is completely different than, like, beginning of season 2 Buffy.
Wow. Okay.
Because of everything she goes through this second half of the season.
Okay. All right.
So, Angel's there and says, you have to know what to see. And she turns around behind her, and Jenny's there with, like, a veil and she pulls it back, and we see that it's Jenny.
Yeah. I didn't really understand what that meant.
And Buffy wakes up.
Yeah.
I think, because Buffy has, like, prophetic Slayer dreams, and her dreams are telling her that Jenny's involved.
Something's up with Jenny? Okay.
Jenny's involved. So, at school, Buffy is on a mission. She is power walking through the hallway at school, goes into Jenny's classroom. Giles is there talking and attacks her.
She throws her down.
Yeah, like throws her down on the desk. Angel.
She's yelling, "What do you know?
What do you know?" Giles is like, "Buffy, what are you doing?" He gets all the kids out of the classroom.
Everyone's dismissed.
And Giles is like, "You can't go around, like, accusing people." And Jenny's like, "I didn't know exactly." And he's like,
and Giles' face.
He's like, "Jenny."
Yeah.
And she finally just, like, spills the beans. You could tell it's hard for her to, like, just tell them the truth.
That she was sent to watch Buffy.
She was sent to watch Buffy to keep her and Angel apart. Mm-hmm. And she says, "Did you know this was going to happen?" And she says, "No, I swear I didn't know what would happen. I would have told you." And Buffy says, "So it was me then. Like, you didn't do it." I think Buffy was, even though she was angry, I think she was hoping that maybe Jenny had done it. So it wouldn't have been her. Yeah. And it was just a really bad coincidence of the timing. But yeah, and Jenny says, "I think it was."
And Giles wants to know why they both think Buffy's responsible for this triggering event on Angel.
Yeah. Buffy gives him a meaningful look, and he gets the message. Yeah. He's
One
like,
moment of happiness.
Oh, dear. He takes his glasses off. Starts cleaning his glasses, which he is known to do in uncomfortable situations. And Buffy immediately says, "Curse him again. Like, we might be able to just curse him again, and if things will go back to the way they were." And Jenny says those magics are long lost, even to her people. There's nothing that she can do to help
it's too late.
Curse Angel again. Buffy's like, "Okay, take me to somebody who can help me." At Enyo's place, which is Jenny's uncle, he's sitting there smoking a, like, pipe or something, and he says, he hears the door open. He's like, "I knew you would bring her to me, or she'd want me to." So he thinks it's Jenny coming with Buffy, and so do you. You're supposed to think that as well.
I did think that. Yep.
Because that's leading. They want you to think that.
But it's not. It's Angel.
It's Angel.
Such an asshole.
He's like, "I knew you would want answers," thinking it's Buffy, and Angel's like, "No, thanks for the offer, but yeah." And so it's not gonna It's where it leaves off, but it's probably not a good ending for Enyo. At the army base, Willow and Oz and Cordelia and Xander arrive at the base. So Willow and Oz are going to stay in the truck or the van, and Cordelia and Xander are going to break in and get something.
Cordelia's like, what am I supposed to be? Xander's like, you're supposed to be a girl. Think you can handle that?
So they go into the armory and they get caught by a soldier. So the reason that Xander had Cordelia was for an excuse in case they did get caught. So Xander knows all this stuff.
Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, he knows all this military jargon, and he can come off as a soldier. So I think that he's on leave and he just wants to show the lady the weapons, gets him all hot and bothered. And the guy's like, fine. He kind of blackmails the guy, like, I'm going to say your shoes are not tied, regulation, you're holding your gun wrong, and all this stuff. And the guy's like, 20 minutes. And Xander's like, I only need 5. And he's like, forget I said that part.
That's hilarious.
He's like, no guy will say, I only need 5 minutes. So they go, and I like when Cordelia's like, I'm not a soldier, right? Like, she's not been filled in on what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So they go into the armory to get the air quotes package.
The thing.
Yeah. And I do like, though, also, Xander reveals that he remembers all this army stuff because of when he got turned into a soldier at Halloween. So remember that episode? All that information.
That was a good tie-in. I like that, actually. I thought that was funny. Yeah.
That all stayed with him.
Yeah.
And I like when he says, Cordelia says, does looking at weapons or guns really make girls want to have sex? Because that's really weird. And she's like, does it make you want to have sex? He's like, I'm 17. Looking at linoleum makes me want to have sex. Which is really funny.
That was really funny.
Then we go to we have a little scene, which is really good, though, this is
such a good scene.
Oz's
band. Oz.
Yeah, and they're just sitting there. Oz's like, do you guys still steal weapons from the military often? Well, we don't have
she's
cable.
Like, we don't have cables. We have to make our own fun.
Yeah. And they're kind of just sitting there, and Willow says, so do you want to make out?
And I was like, whoa, Willow, get it. Get
it, can you believe that?
Yeah, way to go, girl.
Oz is like, no. No. I think about kissing you. In class, I think about kissing you. And Willow's like, okay.
And he calls it Willow Kissage.
Willow Kissage.
Which is my favorite line.
He says as he has frame thinking about it. Yeah. But Oz is very smart. He's quiet, but he's very observant. He doesn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
And he says, it looks like you're either trying to get back at or make your friend Xander jealous.
Which was, wow, I was surprised that he noticed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he says,
yeah, it's okay. I can wait. I was like, oh, that was the
but yeah, he wants to, they're going to kiss, it wants because she wants to kiss him.
Yep. Not because she's just distracted or whatever.
Not because she's getting back at somebody. And it says, it's okay, I can wait. And and he gets out. They get the signal to, get the package, and she lets him get out, and she just looks at him like she really respects him.
Yep.
This is she sees him in a new way after saying that.
And this is going to make her get it over Xander even quicker, I would hope. Bye, Xander.
And an 18-year-old boy saying that, that's super mature.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, Oz is great. So that was a great scene.
I love that, yeah.
At Enyo's apartment, Jenny's uncle, Buffy, Jenny, and Giles come in, and they find him dead on the bed, and written above the headboard in blood says, "Was it good for you too?" So which is very brutal. And Giles says,
"It's only making it easier."
Giles says he's doing this intentionally to make it harder for you. And Buffy says that he's only making it easier by doing these things.
Yeah.
In the factory, Darla, Drew and Angel are taking the judge out to kill some people. And Spike has to stay because he's in his wheelchair.
Right.
So Spike doesn't get to join in on the fun. But they're going to go supercharge the judge. In Giles' office, Xander gives the box to Buffy. She opens it and says, okay, this is good. And Buffy and Jenny comes in asking if she can help, and Buffy tells her to get out.
Yeah. And then she tries to
reiterate that she wants to help.
Giles says she said get out. I was like,
and do you see Buffy look at Giles when she says that? She's surprised because she knows that they had a romantic relationship. They care about each other. But he's Team Buffy on this one.
He is Team Buffy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also, I'm sure, feels betrayed because they had a romantic relationship, and she was he probably feels like she was using him to get close to Buffy, an Angel, and like get her job done. So there's a lot there. Yeah. And then Xander says, "Do you want me to show you how to use it?" And she's like, "Yes, please." So we haven't seen what it is, but obviously it's a military weapon.
It's not a crossbow, apparently.
Not a crossbow.
Damn it.
They show up at the factory because they think that's like the best first try to see if that's where they're hanging out.
Spike's kind of hanging out in the shadows.
He's hiding because he's in no position to defend himself. He's just hiding. And they find the factory empty. They have no idea where they would go. And Oz says, "Well, I know where I would go if I wanted to, like, wait in a line. You know, be a lot of people." So it's the mall, which has a movie theater.
Right.
And Angel, the judge, and Drusilla arrive. And they kind of stand up on this, like, top of the stairs. And he kind of uses each person as, like, a link. And he starts to, like, burn through all these people.
It's like dusting them, yeah.
But because there's so many, it doesn't, like, do it right away. Like, because I think he is weak. So he's doing a bunch of people at one time, but it is taking a little bit of time. And Buffy stops him, but she does have a crossbow.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
So there was a crossbow involved. Right. And she, what would you even say? Hits him with the arrow or whatever from the crossbow, and it it stops him from sucking the life out of these people.
And I just love how Angel's like, "What do you think that's going to do?"
Yeah. Like,
and then she's like, "Oh, yes. Wait for it."
Yeah, wait for it. Xander gives her a rocket launcher. And immediately Drew, Angel are like, "Shit."
Badass. Yeah, they start like going for the cover.
They were like, "Sorry, dude." Like,
I love that. Yeah,
they immediately abandon him. And so it's like all slow motion. They're trying to jump off.
And he's like, "What is that?"
He's like, "What does that
What's
do?"
That do? What does that do?
Yeah, because the judge obviously does not know what modern warfare is. And Buffy shoots the rocket launcher and it makes the judge explode.
Yeah.
So,
best present ever.
Yeah, best present ever from Xander. So great idea by Xander. And she's like, "I don't know if he's like actually dead. Like, get the pieces. Like, we'll do, you know, just like they did in the past. Like, get the pieces, keep them separate."
Cordea's like, "Our job sucks."
Yeah, we were in peace duty. Like, you have to pick up pieces. Like, not cool. And because of there was like a explosion, essentially, the sprinkler system goes off, which adds a really cool effect to the rest of the scene. And Buffy sees Angel's like, "Okay, this plan has gone kablooey," no pun intended, "and I'm getting out of here." And she follows him. She chases after him, and they end up in the movie theater. So they immediately start fighting, and it's just like such a cool fight scene. Like in the lobby of a movie theater.
Kicking her butt.
Yeah. This is like their first like real fight scene. And they're in the lobby of the movie theater with all the sprinklers going down, which is so cool, like the water.
Yeah, that was a good scene, yeah.
In the background, there is a poster for Quest for Camelot movie that came out in 1998.
Did not catch that.
Just a little, that's like one of the posters for the movies that's up in the thing. Okay. So, and while they're fighting, we see that the group is gathering parts of the judge, and Oz says, "Arm." He finds an arm, he just points at it, like, "I found an arm." And so there's a great fight scene. She throws Angel through, like, the concession stand. I mean, they're really going at it. And she eventually does overpower Angel and pulls out her stake, but she can't go through with it.
Yeah.
And he realizes that and is very smug and says, "You can't do it. You can't kill me." She can't kill him, but she can kick him in the gonads.
Oh my God, and he hurt so bad. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And she says, she walks away from him and says, "Give me time."
That was a good line.
That she knows she's going to have to, but she can't do it yet.
But the fact that she was able to fight him and hurt him, and she does think in time she'll be able to kill him, that was a lot of progress for her over the course of
a day.
A short period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Angel's privates are like, "I thought you liked me. Like 24 hours ago, you liked me, and now you've kicked me." So they're very confused. "You were so kind to me 24 hours ago. Like, I don't know what happened." So yeah, everybody's confused. Okay, this is my favorite scene. In Giles' car, Giles takes Buffy home and is dropping her off, and Buffy is just distraught again.
Yeah. I mean, she's destroyed emotionally.
Giles says that you know this isn't over. Angel will come after you. His MO is that he wants to attack what made him feel most human. He will come for you again. Like, this is not over. And Buffy says, "You must be so disappointed in me." And she looks just wrecked.
She does.
Like, she feels such a failure. She failure as a slayer, like, as everything.
Teenager.
Like, just rock bottom for her right now.
Yeah.
And Giles says, if you do what you think I could tell you acted rashly, like, you did, but I'm not going to, you don't need me to tell you that. Yeah. And if you're looking at me for guilt, I'm not your man.
You want me to wag my finger at you?
He said, you only get support and respect from me. Yeah. So you could not have known this is going to happen. And the next few months are going to be tough, but you're only going to get respect and support from me. And she just looks at him like, oh, it's a little bit.
Yeah, and I love
kernel of like.
That's what she needed.
Happiness, like comfort, because she hasn't had any comfort.
I love how he says, like he knows that she loved him, and he proved his love for her a few times. There's no way to have known like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she really expects him to be disappointed in her and berate her. And he doesn't.
No.
He's there for her. So, like, points for Giles these last couple episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a really good moment.
Yeah, I love the moment between them.
Yeah, me too.
At Buffy's house, the musical Stowaway from 1936 is on the TV, which I have not seen, and I love old musicals. I'm going to have to watch this and let you know what I think. So Buffy's sitting on the couch in like her pajamas, and Joyce comes in with 2 cupcakes and doesn't know what her daughter did for her birthday. But okay. She's like, what did you do for your birthday?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, Joyce, I don't like her.
It's just sorry I didn't have time to make you a cake. I just had these cupcakes and
like Mother of the Year award again.
She is taking her out shopping on Saturday, so that's like her little birthday thing. I'm just saying, just gotta put it out there.
Whatever. I hate Joyce.
That's okay. Her. You are entitled to hate her. I'm just saying what was said in the episode. And Buffy said, she said, what did you do for your birthday? She said, I got older. Like, wow. Understatement of the century, huh? Like, she became 17, but she's aged. Like, stuff she's been through in the last, 48 hours.
She grew up so fast.
Yeah. And her mom lights the candle, says make a wish, and Buffy just looks at it and says, I'm just going to let it burn.
Yeah.
And she just stares at it and gets a cuddle from her mom, which I think is nice.
I did like, though, when she said, when Buffy said I got older, I like how her mom says you look the same to me. I liked that. I thought that was nice, actually.
Yeah, and she has a nice cuddle with her mom, which is nice.
Because I think Joyce understands something. She thinks some sort of mild teenager issue thing is happening, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can't imagine the real thing, but she knows something's up with her. She caught it earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffy didn't know the whole full story then, but she can tell that something's off with Buffy.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're just cuddling, and she's just letting the candle burn, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's a heavy one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy one for sure. So my favorite quote was, she made me feel like a human being. That's not the kind of thing you just forgive. And jealous. And jealous. Okay. And then my favorite scene, like I said, was the Buffy Giles car scene. When he was just really there for her and gave her the only kernel of comfort she's had this whole episode. And I think assuaged 2% of the guilt. The guilt that she is so carrying now.
Yeah.
And so it was super important. And she can't talk to her mom about it. She hasn't really talked to anybody about it, really.
No, she doesn't even really feel like she can talk to her friends about it.
Yeah. And she hasn't really talked to Giles about it either, but he takes the initiative to talk to her about it and that make her know that he's doesn't blame her. He doesn't think bad of her, all this stuff. And it's just she so needed that this episode.
I mean, and to her credit, I get it, because when you're a teenager, that is a big thing. I remember when I was a teenager, me and my girlfriends, it was actually a big thing when stuff like that happened, and it's just, to have something that you think is so important, so monumentally life-changing, to have something bad like that, almost like a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like it was she felt like it was a punishment for doing that, so...
Yeah.
I appreciate that Giles tries to lighten that load for her, lighten her burden.
Yeah, because she definitely has the weight of the this whole situation on her shoulders. She feels solely responsible. Yeah. And they basically, this kind of the theme for this episode, because everything in Buffy is supposed to, with the supernatural stuff, is supposed to relate to just real life teenage issues, and it's basically you sleep with a guy and he completely changes.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally changed. He lost his soul.
Yeah.
But, like, that's, like, the thing that, like, normal, like, real people deal with. But this is, like, the Buffy-fied version of that
and, like,
situation.
Like, if you even take the vampire part out and the soul part out, that scene when she went to his apartment and, like, she thought he'd been, like, missing or whatever, and he wasn't, and he was there, and the way he acts so flippantly and whatever, like, those are real things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's shitty. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're led down the garden path, and once they get what they want, they, like, turn into a different person. Yep. Yeah. Cool. So that's kind of, like, what this is supposed to be alluding to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's, like, the real-life situation that people, unfortunately, deal with. Yeah, okay. Your quote.
So my favorite quote was Willow Kissage by Oz. I just thought it was so cute. And just the way he, like you already explained, like the way he took charge in that little thing, like, because she was like, oh, you want to make out with me? And I thought he was going to be like, yes. And he was just like, no, I want to do it when, like, the time is right and, you're into it. And yeah. But my favorite scene was actually the same as yours, so yeah. Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oz is mature beyond his years.
I want to see more of Oz, for sure.
Always here for more Oz, so hopefully we'll see more of him. I look
forward to that. I hope that. I'm curious to see more Oz, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with Jenny in the next episode, because I think some people feel betrayed by her.
She's in the doghouse.
Yeah, like, I don't know if she can come back from that. Like, is she even going to, like, now that her duty is over, is she even going to stay? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, her liaison to her people has been killed.
Yeah, and like, I mean, her job was to keep Angel and Buffy away from each other. Now there's nothing to do with that. So.
True. Yeah, like, what is even her purpose now?
Yep.
Yeah, I think she genuinely would like to, like, still be part of the group and, like, help genuinely, but
can she come back from this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, has the damage been done with her betrayal? Air quotes, betrayal. So my stake rating was a 5. This is, like, pretty much a perfect Buffy episode. The whole, like, Jenny finally is outed.
Yeah.
Cordelia and Xander are outed.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Brutal angst, which I love in my entertainment, in my books and stuff. I love brutal angst, and Buffy was put through the ringer in this one, like, angst-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Willow, like, coming out essentially to Xander about her feelings for him. We got Oz, of course. The Giles and Buffy scene. Like, there was, like, nothing I didn't like about it. I liked the rocket launcher because they kept saying, like, oh, no weapon forged can kill him. Yeah, but this was written, like, before modern warfare.
Exactly.
And I feel like this could be a commentary the show is making on the Second Amendment.
Oh,
possibly. I don't have any proof of that. I'm just, like, reading into this really old text saying no weapon forged can kill him, but the text was written before modern warfare.
Interesting. Okay.
Warfare. So I am just kind of reading between the lines there.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an interesting take. Yeah.
Okay, I gave it a 4.9.
Ooh, not quite there for you.
Yeah. Because I am so disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, watching her be that hurt and destroyed, just, like, acting was great, character development was great, but I just, like, it just hurt to watch. I was Team Angel, and I obviously can't be anymore. There's no coming back from this, so they've made that quite clear. But I did like the development that we saw, like the Oz and Willow development. I thought that was really cute. I'm glad that, like, we know more about Jenny, and Giles is aware of all of that now, and I'm like I said, I'm curious to see where that goes. And, like, I guess if I'm honest, I'm kind of curious to see where things go with Spike, Drusilla, and Angel, like, to see what they're going to do now.
Yeah, because they're, like, a team now.
Yeah, I guess so. They're a family. They're, like, a weird little family.
And it's interesting, too, because I think, like, you're meant to think, like, okay, the judge is going to be a big issue for a long time. And the next episode, he's
exactly
obliterated.
Yep, I thought so, too.
So that's something that you don't, like, anticipate, I feel like.
Yeah. How many episodes are in this season again?
22. And we're on,
so we still have
this is
a
14.
lot of season to go. Okay.
Yeah, we're just over the hill of the middle.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Your question for next week is, so the next week's episode is called Phases. and we get introduced to a new supernatural, something new in the supernatural realm. What is it? Something that we haven't seen before.
Okay. We've done witches. We've done ghosts, I think, kind of, sort of. We've done robots. We've
Invisible
done Frankenstein.
Girls.
Yeah. We did that
weird... robots, right? Yeah, robots.
Yeah, I said robots. We did that weird mom thing.
Weird mom thing?
The trophy in the cheerleader episode.
Oh, right, witches.
Freaky Friday thing. Oh, yeah, those witches.
Praying mantises. Giant she mantis. Done possessed dummies.
Okay, werewolves? Werewolves.
Okay.
I don't know.
There is a hint in the name, so.
Phases. I mean, werewolves phase. Does something else phase? Moon phases? Ocean phases? Oh god.
No, just leave your answer. Leave it alone.
I am leaving it. Werewolves phase. Yeah, werewolves phase. They phase with a foam. I've just been reading Twilight too, so just don't
yeah, you got werewolves on the mind.
Thing. I just finished the series.
I am curious, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
This is gonna sound lame, but when I read the books, I was Team Alice. I knew it was never gonna happen, but I wanted it to.
Oh. Never considered that option.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, but clearly that wasn't going to happen. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, never even...
I thought she could have done better than both of them.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I was Team Edward.
I mean, yeah, if I had to pick between Jacob and Edward, I would have picked Edward too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyway, though, but this isn't a Twilight podcast. But anyway... I just was curious.
Okay, so werewolves is my answer. So season 2, episode 15, Phases.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it'll be a good one. So that wraps up season 2, episode 14, Innocence. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl and All the World Pod. You can email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week at season 2, episode 15, Phases. See you real soon.
Bye.